scale trains? Or Intermountain? Hello folks, and in today's video, we're going to be doing a comparison between the scale trains ET44AC and the Intermountain ET44AC of what sounds better, what looks better, and also most importantly, how they run. Alright, so starting off here, I have both of the ET44ACs up here. This is the scale trains one. This is the Intermountain unit. Starting off right away, the Intermountain unit, I feel, has a little bit less detail on the interior than the scale trains unit does. As you can see, it's kind of a bit more dark inside. I don't think there is actually, yeah, there's no windows. They're blacked out. Actually, I'm pretty sure you guys can see that, which I think you can. On the side, they're blacked out for some reason. That might be Road Pacific detail here, though. A BC Rail may have done that for some reason. But anyways, they're blacked out on that side. You can see on the inside, though, which I can't really see. Let's see. Maybe. No, there's some detail, actually. Not much, but there is. Like I said, it might be like that for Road Pacific detail. Yeah, but I don't know either way. But now moving on to the scale trains unit, we do have a fully detailed interior. Yet again, no cab figures, yet the tinting on this side is definitely a lot better than on the Intermountain unit. Maybe the tinting is just that dark then. No, I don't think so. I don't think it has... Yeah, I think those are blacked out for some reason. But yeah, moving on here, you can see on the front, we do have a fully detailed interior, which is always nice. No crew figures like MTH, but I think that's fine. Anyways, most people aren't going to be looking that close to begin with if you're just running it on your layout anyways. But still, would have been nice. And I'm also going to go over the sound functions as well. I forgot about that to say that. So yeah, I definitely think though, the Scale Trains unit does take the cake for detail. The only thing that Scale Trains unit has that I don't like, when you get this unit, the Scale Trains one, it comes with their weird couplings, those really strange Scale Trains couplers that don't really bind too well with other freight. So I would have liked, scale KDs, but I have put actual scale KDs on these now. And same here on the Intermountain, but I believe this one has a short shank, and this one's a medium in the front. I think I might have done that. I don't remember at the moment. But anyways, yeah. Now going over here, thought might as well show this as well. For the detail, the Scale Trains unit does have a lot better see-through grates here. And then on the steps as well. It's kind of hard to see, but there is detail there. And we do have that here on the BC Rail unit as well, but we do not have see-through vents up top. And if you're wondering for the weight, which one's heavier, the Scale Trains unit is lighter by 2 ounces, I believe, or 5 grams. I don't remember exactly how much, but I know it wasn't a big difference. And yet this Scale Trains unit is lighter, yet it does pull more than the ET44AC by Intermountain, which is kind of interesting. And on both units, we do have rotating axle bearings, or caps, as I like to call it. And on this one too, we have them. But I have found that with this one, there's this weird black stuff coming from here. I think it's grease, maybe, but I don't know where it's coming from as it's just appearing. But I like on the Intermountain unit, we have actual chains, not just plastic ones, like on the Scale Train unit here. They're plastic, unfortunately. move that back. And I will say, for the scale trains unit, the price is brand new 500 Canadian. I'm not sure what the USD price is. I'll put it right there. And on the scale trains unit, Intermountain unit, I got, it was $299.99 Canadian, I believe. So definitely a lot cheaper. But I will say this one is better in some ways than this one. But I think detail is better on the scale trains still. Anyways, I think that's enough going over the detail and stuff. Let's now go to my test track here and listen to what they sound like. Alright, so here's the scale trains unit on the track. So, I'm just going to show you guys the lights here. Those are the ditch lights. That's the headlight. And if we turn F5 on, we have the, I believe it's called DPU light. Very, very bright. Brighter than the Intermountain one, I will say. And we have it on the rear as well. And then if you toggle F5 off, you got all of the lights back. And here's the bell. Here's your horn. Yeah, much better sounding than the Intermountain one, I will say. But probably due to the, I'm just going to call it grates back here being see-through, and they're not on the Intermountain. And the speakers are so much bigger in this one than they are on the Intermountain one. And on the Intermountain one, they are two small sugar cube speakers, I believe that's what they're called. And what's in this one is two, I believe, or no, it's one lock sound bass speaker, I believe that's what they're called. So yeah, let's start it up now. Alright, that's the startup. So, let's move it a little bit here. I have actually synchronized the speed with the ET44AC from Intermountain to this one. So they run in synchronous when we don't run them on the layout. So they're not default in terms of the speed setting. So here's speed step 1. Very smooth, I will say. Let me go up to 128 mode here. Of course, it can go a lot slower than this. I just have it tuned like this at the moment. So here's how bright those dish lights are. As you can see, they're very, very bright. Move it up a little bit here. This is max speed. Max speed forwards. Of course, I have the speed turned down a little bit here, so it's not as fast. It could go faster. And this is on 13.8 volts, by the way, if you're wondering. So there's the lights. And then, oh yeah, something to note too, this one actually has capacitors that actually uphold the lights. Unlike the Broadway Limited ones, these ones actually do something. which is great. But yeah, there's that. And the, shutdown is basically identical to the Intermountain one. So yeah. Alright, let's move on. Testing the Intermountain unit first. So I'm going to go through the lighting function. So here's your headlight. Ditch lights is 6. Then we have walkway lights, which is F11. It is here. Once I move it, you'll be able to see it better. But on the scale trains unit, there is lights here as well, but are not present on this model. And we do have the DPU light. I believe it's called DPU, DPI. I don't remember the exact term for it, but there's that. The difference with this one, though, is that on the scale trains unit, which you'll see soon, for some reason, when you turn the DPI light, I think it's called, on, it shuts the dish lights off and the headlight off as well, which is nice for when you're in a consist, so you don't have to deal with the headlight being stuck on, which I like. So yeah, let's start it up now, and here it sounds. Alright, so now it's started. There is an extended startup on this too, which I'll show after. So here's F1, which is the bell. That's your bell, and then here's the horn. Okay, so there's the horn. I'll move it out here now. So in reverse. Speed step 1. Three, 4, 5. This is with momentum 0 at the moment, and I am on speed step out of 28, not 126. So here's momentum set to 255. Here we go. Here's 255, now going to speed step 12. So that's the sounds. And then I'll go max speed here. Quickly go past the camera. Alright, so here is max speed. That's an emergency stop, by the way. If you're wondering, that's, I believe this has flywheels inside, I'm pretty sure. I'm not entirely sure though. Anyways, that's what that sounds like. It's pretty nice when it runs. Although I did have issues with this where it will slow down and speed up by itself. Let's go back to 2 times here. Then I'll shut it down now and then do the extended startup. So to do the extended startup, all you do is on your controller here, you have F8, you tap it twice, and then the third time it will start up. That's all you do. That's twice, now one more time. There's the extended startup, and you can hear it sounds a lot different though once you extend this startup. I'm pretty sure it toggles like on the prime mover and shuts off the electric motors or something like that. I think that's how it works. This is a hybrid, I believe, in real life. I'm not entirely sure on that statement though. I think it is. But anyways, yeah, there's the extended startup. And if we move, it takes quite a lot longer actually to move when you extended startup this. But yeah, there's no what do you call it? Extended shutdown though. Yeah, so that's the extended startup and sound. Here's a direct comparison now of the Intermountain one and the scale trains unit. So here's the horn on the scale trains unit. And I've selected the same horn that's on this one to this one, so you'll hear the exact same horn, just as a direct comparison. So here's the horn. Yeah, so as you can hear, the scale trains unit sounds so much more louder and better than the Intermountain one does. And I believe, well, actually, I feel that the Intermountain one, even though it does have an extended startup, which is pretty cool, and I never mentioned that, which I do wish it did mention that in the manual, but it doesn't. I do feel that the Intermountain, Scale Trains 1 is definitely a lot better. Oh, actually, it does have see-through windows, they're just that tinted. Interesting. Okay, that might be prototypical detail then, actually. But anyways, like I said, I do think this one is so much better than this one, but that this does come at a price though. This is the 2019 Intermountain Scale Trains ET44AC, while this is the 2021 version, I think. Don't quote me on that. Anyways, let's open them up and see what the difference is inside. On the Scale Trains unit, I think it's actually a lot better than the Intermountain one. It sits in a cradle as well. This is the Intermountain's box. I definitely think it's a lot more basic, but I don't know. Alright, let's open the Scale Trains unit up here. Hopefully, we'll do a time lapse. There. So that's all it took was 50 seconds, I think. Then all we have to do is just this. Pry it carefully there. And there we go. That's literally it. So yeah, you can see how absolutely massive this speaker actually is in this unit. I believe it's dual. And it's nice how they actually did that, because it actually imitates the look of the fans inside of the radiator too. So that's pretty cool, actually, I will say. Yeah, it's definitely such a big speaker for something so small as this. But yeah, like these have pins here for the lighting, and this also does have built-in capacitors as well, which is very nice, I will say. It uses the same Locksound 21-pin decoder, a pretty big motor, I will say. And yeah, and all you have to do just to get this back on is just, you know, slide it over. Make sure everything's aligned. Don't force it if it doesn't want to go. And go. Make sure you need to compress the body as well, because there's those electrical pickups. So if you don't compress it, you're not going to be able to get it down all the way. Let's go back here. Actually, let's not close it yet. I'll get the Intermountain yet. No, not yet. Jeez, what's happening? Better actually. Go. So then all you have to do is same thing. A bit easier though on this one. Oh right, I forgot to take the couplers off. I had to put the KD boxes on this one though. The scale trains ones were fine to put the what do you call it, couplers in. So there, and then all we have to do is just a lot easier. Just pull it up. But you can see how much more basic this one is. That's the speakers there, a lot smaller. So yeah, you can definitely see the difference. There's the pickups for the lights. So yeah, definitely a lot simpler than the scale trains unit is. So if we do a direct comparison here, so that's them two there. Yeah, so I definitely will say the scale trains unit is built a lot better than the Intermountain one, unfortunately. But anyways, I guess you pay for what you buy anyways, but there's definitely a lot more room to add weights here, which you could totally do. I'm not sure why they haven't put weights inside anyways, but, you know, it's Intermountain, so can you interchange the bodies? Oh, no, they're not even the same frame. Well, that's interesting. So the Scale Trains one is more narrow than the BC Rail unit. Alright, I'm going to put these back together and then we're going to... Alrighty guys, now it is time for the writing session. So, I'm just going to be doing a lash up here of these two, of the Scale Trains and the Intermountain ET44AC. So, let me know in the comments guys, which ones you like more. Alright, without further ado, let's start up. Alright, folks. Thanks so much for watching my video here. My opinion on this, I definitely do think that the scale trains unit is far superior to the Intermountain ET44AC. It just has so much more detail, but the only thing I will say that I like more about the Intermountain one is the metal chains. That's really it. But the tint is more realistic on the Intermountain, scale trains one, and it sounds a lot better too. So yeah, I think the scale trains unit sounds so much better and runs better too. Let me know what you guys think in the comments and which one you would prefer if you were to buy one. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And I don't usually ask this, but if you can, please like and subscribe. It helps the algorithm, as people say. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching, and have a lovely day, night, or afternoon. Goodbye. Oh yes, something I forgot to mention before we end. I'm actually uploading this video through the YouTube Creator app now, which is so much easier. Now I can actually upload my videos for free in 4K 60 FPS. It's so much nicer. Alright, this time for real, guys. Thanks y'all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and have a good morning, day, or afternoon. See y'all in the next